What is up, Knights of Vex? I hope you guys are ready for some awesome counters in this video because we just hopped off my live stream for the first round of the 5v5 season, and I discovered quite a bit for a first round match. Not quite nearly as much as I wanted to, missing a couple of battles that I really wanted to face like Gungans and Rotta, but I will explain at the end of the video about certain counters that are going to be working towards them from reports from other players. So we're going to showcase a bunch of stuff today from the live stream. Lots more to come on my future GAC videos on my main account. But I want to post this early because a lot of players might not have all the answers in the first round battles. And this could help give you the right advantage in the right steps, in the right direction. I want to help you guys there. So we're going to get right into the gameplay and show you guys exactly how I got these counters to work. But before we do, I was hit with a very interesting comment in my Twitch chat today. And I want to propose it to you guys. And I want to know, from what this person said to me, is, do you think that Vex's milkshakes bring all the Gungans to the yard? If you guys do believe that my milkshakes bring the Gungans to the yard, drop a like in the video. Just do it. Just do it. I need to know if you guys actually agree with that. I was told that today in live stream, so just want to get your input. A little random. What are we talking about again? GAC counters. Right. Let's get right into it, guys. Had to throw my 2 cents in there. So, anyway, first round match. New Republic focused Datacron. Really powerful. The stats are insane. We saw a glimpse of it in 3v3. It's doing crazy damage with Carson Teva. Now, this team in particular has 3 Relic 9s, 2 Relic 7s, all the Omicrons. I believe all the Omicrons besides Zeb is a 3v3 one, and Colonel Ward's level 15 focused Datacron. It's something you can't take lightly. So, what I wanted to do was give Traya a shot, because Traya is very durable, a very good GAC Omicron character, and with a good Datacron with support, was pretty powerful. So, I'm going to play the videos all on a fast speed. The Datacron that I was working with in this video is going to be a wordy Supportcron level 6 with the Grit, turning our max protection into max health for Traya and Nihilus, and I'm rocking a tank Retribution level 3. So, we're going to go right into the video really fast. Have to play it over here. I'm going to play it on a faster speed so this video doesn't take forever. So, again, this is a very dangerous New Republic squad. What you want to do, they start with Deflective Ward. Nihilus is going first with the modding. I'm going to increase all their cooldowns if I can. It dodges on some. I'm trying to lower Nihilus's cooldown so he can get to his insta-kill. The best thing is that they're applying a lot of debuffs on us. That's increasing our max health, and we're able to cleanse a lot of these debuffs on the Traya squad. If your Savage can keep that resilient defense, he's going to be in really good shape. Now, they can ignore taunt effects, so all those counterattacks can hit Nihilus, but he gets so freaking tanky that he can hit and survive a lot of those durable hits. So, you're going to see here, what you can't do is you cannot kill Carson Teva first. He's immune to death while other allies are active. He cannot be defeated. So, I went right for Zeb immediately. I went for the insta-kill on Zeb, and then you're going to see I make a mistake later on in the battle. They all have instant defeat immunity. So, I was able to insta-kill the tank, but the other characters I was not able to. So, I'm really relying on Savage's big under 50% health or 25% health one-shot, whatever it is. Now, all those Retribution and counterattacks are actually hurting them because of Traya's lead. But now, what you have to do is try to survive the rest of the battle without dying, because Carson Teva's offense is ramped out of control. So I am over here trying to get rid of Grogu and the Anzelans. I go for an insta-kill. Again, later on you're going to see, and I completely forgot they had instant defeat immunity. So just keep in mind, if you guys are going to run this counter, that you don't want to waste the insta-kills. You want to put it on a character that can be insta-killed, like Zeb in the beginning. But look at those counterattacks. Those are over 200k crits. But you can see like Nihilus's health is out of control high. So over here, putting the Isolate on Grogu and the Anzelans. I'm trying to get rid of Colonel Ward as fast as I can. See, over here, I go for the insta-kill. It did absolutely nothing. So that was a mistake. So just keep in mind when you're running this counter, the insta-kill is not going to do anything for you. But really good. Look at that. That's a double counterattack from Carson Teva, dealing a total of over 500k to Nihilus, and he's still hanging around. So that's extremely impressive when you can have Nihilus tank massive hits like that from a very good focused Datacron. So Traya having a use this season against New Republic is a phenomenal value. So I do want to showcase that battle. Next up, big question. Is Rey going to pose a threat this season to Queen Amidala? And we have a couple answers here. and things to keep in mind. So on this account, I was running General Skywalker on defense with Stranger. So I didn't have General Skywalker with my Queen Amidala. I swapped him for Ki-Adi-Mundi, who is a good 5th. He's giving increased stats to the Galactic Republic Jedi, I believe, like Master Qui-Gon, or whoever the synergy is. And he's an extra damage dealer. The team that I was facing is going to be a triple relic 10. Rey, Ben, General Kenobi with Cal and Sortie. So instead of Barriss and Zalbar, my opponent opted to go with Sortie to put a character under VIP and stealth. Now, they're rocking a anti-revive level 6 for resistance and a 20% turn meter level 3 with the Rey level 9. I am rocking a level 5 Snowtrooper Commander Cron. It's not even at level 8, it's level 5, so it doesn't even have all the increased offense and crit damage. Let me show you how it goes. I think if you add General Skywalker in here, it's going to be loads easier. So Sortie was the weakest, she goes first. I end up putting the cooldown increase on Ben Solo. I put all enemies under daze. I'm trying to see if I can get rid of Cal right away because he is super annoying with that protection up. So I end up targeting Cal. We get him. He's in VIP. He's already in damage immunity. My AoE puts General Kenobi down and Ben Solo in damage immunity. Now, keep in mind, if you're going to run this Cron, there's no extra tanky stats with your team. So my Queen Amidala was dying to the first Whirlwind. That doesn't really happen. She usually can tank 2. So it made it a little tricky. So you might want to consider, if you're running this Cron, if you don't have the best modded Queen, or you don't have a Relic 10 Queen, that those Whirlwinds might one-shot your decoy. So keep that in mind when you're running this. I do end up getting her in damage immunity. The goal right now is to kill at least 3 of the sides before she gets to her ultimate. So you're fighting against the clock a little bit. You have to deal enough damage. So over here, I'm like, okay, can I get rid of Ben? I almost killed the entire team before her first ultimate. I couldn't get it done. If General Skywalker was in here, a breeze. So I end up getting rid of Cal. That's the way to go, because he can't revive. If I went for Ben, he could revive, and then I'd have 3 enemies on the battlefield, and that means more Rey ultimate. So over here, I'm trying to get rid of her Inspire. I don't get the big crit. I do survive. I still survive, even with the decoy not on the field. The problem in this situation was the banners are bad because of the way the RNG ended with the battle. Any other Queen battle is going to end with like a 63 or higher, 65. I just had some really bad luck, and I have to adjust my mods or even try to pick another Datacron with high crit damage and health or something like that. Maybe a bulk level 3. So I ended up getting 60 banners, but I know for sure later on in the season I can get this higher. So I want to showcase that Queen Amidala can still work. Next up, Ahsoka with Ezra can work this season, but you have to keep in mind the Datacron you are facing. If you are facing a 20% turn meter cron for light side, and General Syndulla is the weakest, or Hoi Yang is the weakest, you have to be careful because that is going to shut down your Great Mother team. This one specifically was a double relic 10 with a bulk level 3, a max health and protection level 3. So I was like, you know what? I have my Great Mother speeds locked in. I'm going to run the counter. I ran my highest critical damage cron, but I think the attacker max health damage level 6, which is not the best. Now, my modding isn't optimized on this account for some reason. It got messed up with remods, so what you're seeing here isn't optimal. My Night Trooper is going before my Morgan and my Spirit, so it's not super ideal. Always doom Syndulla, put the Bless on Spirit, go for the Mass Swarm. It puts Blind on Ezra. That's what you really need to do. Hoi Yang is target number 2. Want to get rid of him immediately. Sabine is going to be target number 3. Now, I got into a little bit of a dicey situation in this battle because Ezra was going to outspeed some of my characters. He goes twice. So the blind is very nice there. I do remove the resilient defense. I try to get a turn meter removal. It got resisted, so that didn't work. If, in this turn, you can see Ezra is going next. If I do not target Ahsoka, and Spirit doesn't do a turn meter swap with Ahsoka by her losing turn meter and you gaining turn meter, I probably would have lost. So, in this situation, I put the grenade on Ahsoka, and I end up going next. So, it's all about if Ahsoka, Spirit can land the hit on Ezra. I land the big crit, game, set, match. If you get to this point, you win. Again, when they're bulky, it's a little tougher. They have an extra 60 or 60% health and protection based off the level 3, so they're going to be a little bit more durable. But it is still possible. Just keep in mind the level 3 Datacron, as always. Next up, we have Cobb Vanth on defense. This particular opponent is setting Tusken Shaman instead of the Warrior, or even Scavenger. So I was like, okay, you know what? Let's go with Bo-Katan. I think Bo-Katan, no matter what, is still going to work. Again, my modding is all messed up on this account, so the turn order is incorrect. But this is the Cobb Vanth Kron on defense. I am rocking a defense to offense attacker level 6. So, all you have to do is Bo-Katan's going to go. You get the Whistling Birds from Bam. Cobb Vanth can't revive if you kill him with Whistling Birds. But, again, this turn order is messed up. So I go for the Whistling Birds. I'm forced to target Cup because of Mark. I go for Cobb Vanth because she can ignore Taunt, and I kill Cobb Vanth like that. The only thing here you have to be cautious of is the banners because of the thermal detonators, because that will strip some. And if you can't stall the battle enough and you're hitting a little bit too hard, then the banners are going to get shot. So I think I end up getting either a 63 or a 64 in this battle. I don't remember off the top of my head. Still, we'll talk more about another issue with Kyber at the moment a little bit later on, but I think I end up getting a 64. So not the end of the world. So Bo-Katan is working great against Cobb Vanth. Next thing I want to showcase. I brought my Rotta on offense on my alt account to showcase what he can do in 5v5. I wanted to see if he could take on a really high relic Inquisitor squad. So I'm rocking a 5-star Rotta with Relic 4, 3 Omicrons, and his Focus Datacron by himself. This is a Ahsoka team with the attacker level 6. Really dangerous. Triple Omicrons. A very tough team in Kyber 1. Very tough. Cannot be taken lightly. So they're going to go ahead and do their thing. They're stacking up their thermals. Every time you get Terminator removed, he gains a bonus turn. So over here, I go for the middle ability. It can't be evaded or resisted. So I end up going for all the bleed. He gets good counterattacks. Definitely want to try to get rid of Grand Inquisitor immediately. He's the damage threat. But depending on how the thermals get the enemy low is who you're going to actually try to get rid of first. So I do have the insta-kill on the Omicron. So I'm trying to do that as soon as I can. But Grand Inquisitor, I'm sticking to basics with. I do not want him to hit me hard at all. Because it's an attacker Kron, and he is a attacker. So over here, I was like, you know what? Seven Sister will go down to thermals. Let me see if I can land heal immunity. It worked. She went down. So now I'm like, okay, I got to be really careful. I have heal immunity on me. I don't want to die. So now that they have 8 thermals and I have the insta-kill, they got popped. And I was able to recover all that health and protection back. And then once it gets down to a solo Reva, Relic Delta didn't matter. I got 69 banners. That's a weehoo. So that was awesome to get that solo win. So, another thing. I didn't get a chance to face Rotta like I said. I wanted to try Bad Batch against him. I've heard of reports of Bad Batch working with the Batchercron. So instead, I was like, you know what? Let's figure if the Bad Batch Batchercron can work against Jango. Because Jango is still a very tough team this season. So they have Jango, Asajj, Zuckuss, Mando, and Grief. Not Forlom, a little bit different with the Jango Kron. I'm rocking the Batcher level 9 with the defense to offense level 6. So this opening play is a little scary. Our Wrecker goes down immediately, like super fast. I was like, what is going on? Is that a normal interaction? I try to go for the Mandalorian first, but Foresight stops the mark. So I was a waste of a turn. Should have just went for Zuckuss because he's got a locked taunt. So over here, I'm just trying to do my best to get the stacks of Shaken off my crosshair. So what I end up doing is I'm lowering the cooldowns of my crosshair so that he can lower more stacks of Shaken later on. So that lowers his cooldowns when you do that. So over here, they're doing some pretty scary moves. My crosshair goes again, removes more stacks. I do end up going for, I think, the Terminator level 3. Go for the middle ability with our Batcher. Crosshair is called to assist. Now he's starting to attack. Our Wrecker is back. I get really unfortunate timing, and Mando insta-kills him. So the captive mechanic kind of is a waste. I think that if I got to my momentum earlier, I could have kept Wrecker alive. But over here, Zuckuss is very tanky. He's actually a very annoying 5th. Go for a basic over here. Mando goes down. I go for a heal on Batcher because she's getting low. Big hits over here. Now with Batcher, I can ignore. I can target stealth enemies, so I go for Grief Karga. And at this point, I'm trying to stall the battle out a little bit so I can regain some banners with Omega's middle ability. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to do it as best as I could, so he's stealing more and more banners. I think on another situation, maybe I can get this to work a little bit better. Gotta try to figure out how to avoid Mando's insta-kill after Wrecker gets out of captive, because if he didn't go into captive, he just would have been, in a temporary state. So So that was a 60 banner win. It could have been way better. Next thing we're going to showcase is going to be Darkside Raycron on defense with First Order Stormtrooper and Sith Trooper. Now, a lot of players were concerned about this, that previous counters weren't going to work. The good news is I tried Bane with Count Dooku. Wasn't even using a Darkside Kron. I was using a high health Kron with critical damage, and let me show you how it works. So, it does get a little scary. It looks scary at one point. They're rocking the Retaliate level 6 on Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. I think I show it, actually. Buffs on a basic, Retaliate, and the Dark Ray level 9 with all those stats. It's all very good. You got to keep in mind that Kylo has a chance to siphon accuracy off of Bane. So you really need to end the battle as fast as you can. So our Dooku went down immediately. I end up going for the second special. I'm waiting. The Retaliate is actually kind of making us a little low. So you really got to be cautious. I end up one-shotting the entire team there, besides Kylo. So at this point, I'm a little worried. Is he going to siphon the accuracy? I'm not going to hit him. But it gets to a point where I just hit insanely hard. It doesn't really matter. So unfortunately, as good as the Kron is for First Order, it's not going to shut down Bane. So if you could somehow bait Sith Eternal or Bane on the front wall, and they have to question something else against Kylo, like maybe use Kenobi or something like that, then you're in a different situation. But for now, looks like Bane is still walking over that Datacron. Kind of unfortunate. But next up, I want to showcase. I'm jumping a little bit too early. This is a Saw Gerrera team with the attacker or support level 6. It might be attacker. Running with Leia, Luthen, Cassian, and Vel Sartha. So a lot of players were questioning whether Saw Gerrera was going to be the better lead for Cassian. I decided to go with Baylan. I went with Baylan with, I think, a high critical damage Kron, rocking Kira and Han Solo. So over here, I end up going for a stun on Saw Gerrera. I'm taking a big look at the turn order on the right. End up removing all the buffs. Trying to get rid of the decoy as fast as I can. So over here, I get a good one-shot over here. Saw's getting kind of low. So I am trying to get rid of the decoy again after respawning. I call to assist, I believe, Shin, because she's a big damage dealer. It looks like it's going really well. But for some reason, Leia hits really hard. Cassian goes down like it's nothing. Big AoE. At one point, I was worried about the revive, and then I remembered we have anti-revive in our kit. So Han Solo ends up getting really low from Leia. I don't know what it is about that interaction, but that was kind of strange. We end up getting 63 banners. So if you are facing Rebel fighters with Saw Gerrera, Baylan seems to walk right over it, even with the new Cassian squad as the side. So I wanted to showcase that as well. Now, my opponent really didn't set the most monstrosity of a defense ever. They set ISB, they set Phoenix. I'll showcase some of those other battles later. So I tried to Underman with Leia with a bulk level 3. They're rocking a support Kron. I want to showcase, if you are trying to go for efficiency, to be very careful. It wasn't as easy as I thought. KX Security Droid actually hits kind of hard. So I was trying to just be efficient with my banners because I already dropped a lot previously from the Bad Batch battle. Trying to regain some. Look at R2. R2 died right away. I'm like, what am I doing wrong? Like, is there something I'm not understanding? They killed him so fast. So at this point, I'm getting a little bit concerned, but I'm like, you know what? I think I'll be okay. But then I saw that Death Trooper can apply Death Mark, and I'm like, what is happening here? Like, this cannot be good. So Drogon gets low. They put the Death Mark on my Leia. What if they put it on Drogon? That could have been really, really dicey. So the whole point of me showcasing this one is that if you're going to try to be a little cheeky and underman a ISB team with Leia, maybe choose a full squad. It's not worth it. It's a little dicey. I went with a very good Datacron, a bulk level 3 with very good stats, and KX Security Droid was still strong enough to get rid of R2. I was trying to wait to get to an ultimate to see if I can revive R2. Didn't end up happening. Just killed him a little bit too fast. So that was a 64 banner win. Now, the next one we're going to showcase is going to be... What is it going to be? I think it's Phoenix. It's a Phoenix squad. So my opponent, what they did was they set Phoenix on defense, but they put a support Kron level 6 to try to see if I can make a mistake with Tuskens. And I was like, you know what? The map is so small in Kyber 1. Why would I risk doing Tusken? So I went with a Sith Eternal solo. This isn't really much to glamour about. This is a breeze. If you're setting Phoenix on defense in Kyber 1, I really don't think it's a right move. the map is already so small to begin with that it's like, what are you doing? But I do think I'm going to talk about it a little bit at the end of this video about the potential issue with Kyber 1 lately and all the releases of these new teams. But I wanted to showcase some of these counters first. So this is a breeze. This is not anything to talk about. Just showing pure efficiency. So that was a 68 banner win. Next up is a Master Mace squad. Again, I went for the efficiency route. Going for a JMK Underman. It works out. It works out really well. Except Jakasa Nu can kind of hit kind of hard. So I would do this again. But you just got to be a little bit careful with if Jakasa Nu has a lot of like protection. Or the Datacron has a lot of strong stats. I ended up going with a focused Datacron of Colonel Ward's because I didn't have it on defense. So I was like, you know what? Let me just go with my most powerful Datacron remaining. So if you're looking to do an Underman on Mace, and you have Kenobi in your reinforcement slot, and you have him in your squad remaining, he can do it. But you saw how Jakasa Nu got a big hit off of him. Just a little scary. So I was like, you know what? Let me wait for the insta-kill on Jakasa Nu. We end up like taking her out before it even happens. So I wanted to insta-kill Ayla, but I end up, I think, doing it on Depa Balaba, which I don't think is the end of the world. This was not that hard of a battle. It's full. It's just trying to showcase that if you want to be efficient, this is a great way to do it. Now, once this battle ends, I want to talk about some other counters for teams I wasn't able to face today. So, we'll wait for just a second. I mean, this battle is a joke. Rotta the Hutt. Everyone wants to know about Rotta the Hutt. So, there's a couple of counters that I was informed about, and ones from my previous video that have worked and have not worked. So, again, that was a 67 banner win. So, right now, what we're going to do is we're going to go full screen. We're going to go full screen. There are a couple of counters for Rotta that did work. Number one was Bad Batch. The new Bad Batch with the Batchacron got plenty of good feedback from, saying it was working great. The second was Lord Vader. Lord Vader was walking right over Rotta. He's not immune to the dot damage, just blowing up really, really fast. So I do want to showcase stuff about Rotta. What other teams were people talking about that was pretty big? I think those are the biggest ones. I think Rotta was big. Rey was big. Can't think of any off the top of my head that was anything else, but I know a lot of players were confused about Rotta, so I wanted to mention that. Now, what I want to talk about briefly, really quick before we end the video, is the current state about the map in Kyber 1. There were so many teams and squads that I did not get to use at the end of my first round because of how crazy small the map was and how weak of a defense my opponent kind of set compared to other opponents in Kyber. I had like 3 or 4 Galactic Legends that were not used. I didn't use Malicos. I didn't use Satil. I didn't use Seer. Like all these powerful squads. There's probably more that I'm not even mentioning. Do you guys think that it's time to expand the zones in Kyber 1? I'm not saying Kyber 2, 3, or 4. Specifically Kyber 1, where it's the very competitive players trying to reach to the top that have very broad rosters. Do you think that it's time for a map expansion? Because with the release of all these different teams, we're simply running out of room. And I want to be able to utilize these characters and teams because they're fun. And I feel like the map is just kind of in a weird spot. So, just want to throw my 2 cents in there. Let me know what you guys think about this video and about the state of Kyber 1. And if you need help with any other counters. So, a lot more on the way. GAC video going to be tomorrow morning on my main account. And lots more throughout the rest of the season. So, if this did help you guys, don't forget to drop a like on the video, comment down below, subscribe for more content from your boy Vex, and I'll catch you guys in the very next one. May the Force be with you all. Peace.